All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Justin Clark here, going live, going to look at these crypto markets, going to look at 100K. So this is the big deal, obviously. And it's funny, like Bitcoin, nobody knows, obviously, what's going to happen once we hit 100K. I've had friends who have been long-term holders for Bitcoin. They're like, I'm going to sell at 100K. Everything. And then, you get there and you don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It's like you just have to see how the market reacts. Maybe we'll blow through 100K, go to 120K. Maybe we won't. I don't know. So we'll just have to see what happens here. Yeah, I know there are going to be people, if this is the top, and they didn't sell at 100K like they said, they're going to be sad if we go into a bear market after this, which could happen. Anything could happen, right? So fortunately, the way that I trade, I just don't have to sweat it. I keep increasing my balance no matter what. That's what I love about trading with this system. I can go to sleep without open orders, not have to worry about, am I going to wake up and my balance is 50% less tomorrow? Or not. Live with the regret of, oh, I should have sold, or oh, I should have bought. It's like it's just really, really tough. So we'll see. But yeah, and I say 50% less. I hope none of you think I'm kidding when I say that, because Bitcoin has done that in a 24-hour period, and all the alts implode and are down by like 70%, 80% overnight, and it's just a total bloodbath. Are we mature enough of a market now that we won't do that anymore? Possibly, or possibly not, or maybe it'll be a more painful, slow bleed out. Those are even worse, right? When it just slowly goes down. I think everybody prefers quick death in the market versus a slow bleed out. Those are the worst psychologically for people. So, but again, maybe we're going to $1 million a coin. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, it's a highly speculative digital asset. So let's all keep our minds in the right frame of mind that anything can happen. I offer no investment advice. I just talk about the probabilities so that the people trading with our system can really try to anticipate to the best of their ability. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right, Clive? Like, the slow bleed out is the worst, man. Like, give me a quick death, not slow bleeding. But anyway, so we'll just have to see. But there's a couple things I want to look at here today, just so we can kind of keep, aware of the stuff. And I want all of our traders to be hyper aware of where we are right now, which we are way high up, okay? Obviously, potentially at the very, very top of this market cycle, potentially not. I don't know. The interesting thing, and let's get to the charts here. Let's talk about what's happening on these charts here. I'm going to go ahead and screen share. I'm going to be looking at a chart setup we use in iCoinPro to help us kind of gauge where the market is overall. It's called the MA Momentum chart setup. Watch this, everybody. I'm going to show you guys this first. Okay, one thing that's so cool about our software. So this is our list right now of like potential trades. This one's empty. This one's empty. So the cool thing is, and anybody who has our trading system that's a member of iCoinPro, you got to make sure you do this generally about once or twice a day. Honestly, go in here and just click clear list. All right, delete the whole list, and then let the system rebuild it. The system's going to rebuild it in a second here. This is going to pull up whatever's hot, whatever's like a dip trade that's happening right now, and it'll rebuild this list and give me fresh information. Okay, so we won't have anything that's stale or old. So you do want to make sure generally every 24 hours, maybe even twice every day, you clear that out just so you have the freshest information that's in there. So with that said, we'll wait till, there we go. Now we're building. Okay, we got this one. So this is a potential trade that's happening now for our system. Listen, if you don't know how to trade with the system, don't buy this coin, okay? You have to know how the system works. You can learn that in the free boot camp. You can do that in about 40 minutes, totally free. So get back with the person who shared this video with you, or you can shoot an email to support@iCoinPro.com. All right. But the other thing that I wanted to share too. All right. So if you like what you see in that free bootcamp, that'll take you in no time. You can do that right now. All right. There's a 1-week course to learn how to trade with the system. You can totally get this down in 1 week and be rocking. All right. Absolutely rocking. So, all right. With that said, make sure you're clearing your lists out, generally every 24 hours so you have the freshest information on your list. Very important for users of the system. Okay. Now, as far as, hold on, let me make sure I have this other screen set up. As far as the MA momentum, it's called moving average momentum chart setup. This chart setup gives us a really keen view into whether we're potentially in a bull market or bear market or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, and we have a lot of crypto gurus too, Clive, that use our system. It's their secret weapon. You know what I'm saying? If you are a member of iCoinPro, you want to learn how to use the MA Momentum chart setup, go to the part 3 of the micro profit system, and it's right here. It's MA Momentum, stands for Moving Average Momentum. Now, quickly, in a nutshell, this is how this chart works. You're going to see these lines here. These are moving averages. They're an indicator that's used to predict the market, give us an idea of where things are. Basically, when the whole market is trading above these lines, that is good. That means we're potentially bullish. We're potentially moving up, and fully, doing a bullish cycle. Okay. And really, when we start trading above this light purple line here, okay, that means that, the continuation is pretty strong. So it shows momentum, potential momentum. And the further that these moving averages, particularly this purple, maroon, gold one, pull away from the price action, which the price action is represented by these green and red candles, the more potential momentum, that could be building. All right. On the flip side, and boy, I'll tell you, a lot of you would love to have had this chart set up in the last bear market. And for those who have the portal, you just go up here, click this caret, click load chart layout, and you can load it. We have 2 chart layouts that are there. One's for our bread and butter everyday trades, and then this is for, analyzing the market, looking at the bigger picture. Okay. So the flip side is also true. When we start trading underneath all these moving averages and the price action starts pulling away from these moving averages, that means that we are potentially entering a bearish cycle, and we've got to go through a period of selling in order to reconquer these moving averages and then potentially start moving back up. Isn't that cool? I mean, you can just look at it like in an instant, okay? And you can see, okay, here we are potentially in a bear market, almost definitely not in a bull market, right? And here we're potentially in a bull market and almost definitely not in a bear market right at this moment, but that can change quickly. All right. So, all right, what we're dealing with here is 100K. And what's also interesting, let me flip to a different version of this chart. I'm going to flip to, let me grab the Binance one. This should have, actually, no, I think I want to stay on this one. Oh, okay. I think we've got this here. Let me refresh this whole page. Hold on one second, everybody. Just pulling this up. Back to our 1-day momentum chart setup. I want to see a little bit more history here. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if ever there's anything that happens with the portal, the quickest way to fix it is just refresh your page. It fixes 99.99% of everything that's going on. So one of the interesting things we have is kind of the law of diminishing returns. Last time, in 2017, we broke through the previous all-time high of 1,200 for Bitcoin, went all the way up 1,500+%, all right, during that cycle. Then we set a high at 20K, then the next cycle, we broke through 20, went up, and it was about, I mean, honestly, only a 246% increase. Okay. So a lot different than the previous one, breaking through that all-time high. Now we've broken through this all-time high of about 70. And this cycle, if we go to 100K, it's about a 45% return, on that. So it's kind of the law of like diminishing returns. You need a lot of money now to make a lot of money with Bitcoin, whereas obviously when it was 1,000 or 100 or, you know what I'm saying, a lot lower, it could turn into exponential increases in your money. So the question always is where's the retail market on this? Because the retail market really drives price action. The big guys just, they like to stoke the flame, from what I understand and everything I've studied about markets. They don't fight the trend, right? The big guys they're not going to try to change the way the market's going. They're going to feed into it and try to fan the flames and keep it going in whatever direction and milk their money out of it then. But by and large, retail is retail is the common people, is what drives these. Now, the interesting thing about Bitcoin at these price levels is, the guy who put $100 into Bitcoin at 70,000, he's got $145 when it hits 100K, right? It's just not like really an awesome return for him. It's not like he put $100 in back here and it went up 1,500% to the high. It's just very different. We have minimized kind of returns on these cycles now. If you put $100 in here, you would add, $350, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm doing this mental math here. I'm probably butchering it. But you get the idea, right? It's just not as dynamic, the amount of money you're making. So the little guy wants to put, a little bit of money in and make a lot. And we're just kind of running out of that steam. It looks like. Now, granted, maybe it'll go crazy after we go through 100K. But for right now, if this is the top of this cycle from the previous all-time high, it's just 45% increase to this. And this bullish cycle started back here. So this cycle has run about 740-day bullish cycle. That's a pretty darn long bullish cycle. This last one, I'm going to call it here, which was from 4K to the highest point, was 1,000-day bullish cycle. So maybe we'll have more time. We'll just have to see. But we're deep into it. So, we'll just have to see what happens. But anyway, for us, it doesn't make any difference because we're going to trade in and out on this, whatever direction it goes, whether it goes to 100K or to 1K. It doesn't make any difference to me. My balance, I'll keep increasing it. Of course, there is risk. Please learn the system. And trading can be, difficult. 95% of people just don't make money in trading, period. End. All right. Moving along here. So that's where we're at. So let's call it at 100K as the key resistance. Traveling downward, we got to keep an eye out for probably this level somewhere. I'm going to say, I'm going to delete these because I think they're kind of irrelevant now. Probably around this purple moving average is really the key line. We want to stay trading above this. We could get a quick retrace back to this. I mean, absolutely, which would put us around 89, 90K. 100% that can happen. It'll depend on how the market reacts. If we get a big revert right back up, that's very, very bullish. You can see that happening here right here. Look at this. I mean, down, immediately gobbled up, and heading higher. So we'll have to see. But if it drops and hits there and then really doesn't move very much, and then the next candle is another red one, that's not great. Okay. We'll just have to see what happens. But the 89, 90K is definitely the level to stay above. if we put pressure on that, the alts are going to probably really implode and provide some amazing dip trades for us. And then you can see the other levels below, but we'll just have to see how this first reaction happens. Okay. There is a saying, it's steps to the top, elevator to the bottom. We've definitely been taking the steps for a long time, over 700 days. There is the potential for an elevator to the bottom at any moment now. We're trading high. So this is the area to maybe be selling, not buying, right? But somebody's going to buy the top. They always do. I don't know where they come from. They come out of the woodwork and buy it. So again, we'll be watching for that retrace. 100K on the upside, 89, 90K. And we might not get it, guys. Listen, this could blow through and go higher. I'm not telling you I know. I have no idea, but I'm just telling you the probabilities. And the probabilities are we're high up and could have a good retrace. Absolutely. But we could also keep going. Markets get crazy sometimes. And we might see that with 100K. It'll be interesting to watch. All right. With that said, one thing I do want to check here really quick. We always check our longs and shorts on Binance. This is like the freshest data, so we only want to look at this. This is on blockchainwhispers.com. They pull this straight from Binance. This is how they get this data. Longs are at 44% right now. Longs are people betting Bitcoin's going up with leverage usually. Shorts are people betting Bitcoin's going down with leverage usually. And that means when they add the leverage in, they're borrowing money and it's super risky, right? If you've ever heard of people blowing out their accounts and trading, 100% it's because of leverage, options trading, all these things that just, man, they will just make you kill your account, right? We don't teach any of that stuff here. We're in it for the long haul. I hate to break it to you. The only way to win, if you're going to be actively trading, is, it's the turtle and the hare. The turtle ends up winning the race all the time. The hare ends up losing everything they started with. So if you're trying to go for quick gains, you're just going to lose your money. But if you start with $100,000, $2,000, $5,000, you learn the system and you trade consistently with it, we have such a successful system. And I can't wait till we release our case studies, which will be coming up here soon, now that we have our portal and everything, but it'll be really, really cool. All right. Binance, we're pretty even now on these. So the guys who are shorting here, they've shorted and they were successful. So, I mean, this is not super concerning. The probability of what's called a short squeeze, where the price just drives up dramatically as all the people betting Bitcoin's going down get liquidated and squeezed out of the market, is a lot lower. Okay. If this short goes over 70%, and the price action just keeps creeping higher and higher and higher, then we could set up for a short squeeze, and that would be a dramatic price rise as everybody short gets liquidated. That could happen. We're not in that zone right now, but again, we have to take this one day at a time. The market could be pretty determined to get up there and just ring that bell at 100K. But man, when that happens, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. It's either going to pump or dump, maybe it'll just consolidate and trade kind of sideways and really drive everybody nuts. So for me, I'm being ultra cautious here. I am not I'm doing small positions. I'm not trading unless the setup is absolutely perfect. I'd much rather see confirmation of move once we hit 100K and what the market's thinking and what it wants to do. Okay. So we shall see. Patience pays in trading, letting it come to you rather than you, trying to stay busy. Staying busy is not necessary in trading. Actually, probably not being busy is better, and just not doing anything until the market moves, right? And what's cool about how we trade, it's completely reactionary. So, but right now we're pretty even. So I won't say business as usual for us, because again, we are super, super up high, but the probability of that short squeeze has decreased. So we'll just have to see what happens. All right. Last thing, I just want to look at what are some good coins potentially to be looking at to trade. Absolutely CLV. That's been my buddy coin for a while. H bar is looking good. Got a pretty good potential profit. And we'll say JTO. Why not? JTO as well. So these three we'll put on the top of our list: CLV, H bar, JTO. But if things do start dumping, we hit 100K and it starts dumping, I'm just going to let the software find the best ones for me. And I'm going to be looking really closely at the roller coastering action. So if it dumps and then kind of goes sideways, or slowly creeps down, I'm not touching that. I want to see it dump and then roller coaster back up and then dump again and then back up. And when we start to see that undulation, that up and down roller coastering on the dip sequences, that's where the good trades are. All right. So, yeah, exactly. Yep. You got to learn to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? Know when to walk away and when to run. I don't know where I heard that from. Should be a song, right, Clive? Anyway, all right. Moving along here. That's all I've got for today. So that's our buds. It's CLV, HBAR, JTO, USD. And key levels right now really look like 100K, of course. And we're also looking at, on the downside, probably 89, 90K. So let's see what happens here today in these crazy crypto markets. Maybe we'll ring the bell at 100K, and then we'll see what kind of madness ensues. Take care, everybody. Stay safe out there, everybody. Stay safe. All right. Bye-bye.